I hope you can hear me because the sounds of night are coming. Um, I am on GG duty this weekend, so I have Caleb and he is asleep on the couch. So I'm outside so that I can watch him and do this away from him. Because I don't want him to see me upset. So today is day 11 and 12 of my grief vlog, but today is 2 weeks to the day that Gavin died. 2 weeks ago today at 3:24 in the morning, I got the phone call. And at that point I didn't know. Based off of the text, Kiera thought he had done something to himself, and I was on the phone with her when she found him. And she was just like, get here now. And at some point, I got back on her phone, and I don't know if I called her or somebody called me. Like, I can't remember for the life of me, but I just remember her mom being on the phone. And I remember asking her if he was alive. And I remember her just crying and not being able to answer, like just uncontrollably crying, and giving the phone to the police officer. And I remember asking him, and I remember him pausing. And I told him, I'm not driving. I have my grandson here, so I'm not going to drive. And my friend is on the way to get me. And she's on her way. So I'm safe, and I'm not going to hurt myself or anyone else. I just need to know, is my child alive? And he was so sweet. And he just said, no, ma'am. And that was the day that my whole world exploded. That was the day that the most consistent thing in my life, from a human perspective, left me. It was just like a whirlwind, out of body experience. And I just remember, like, I have to get myself together because I can't let this baby know what's wrong. Because I firmly believed, and still do, that it was his mom's place to tell him, not mine. And I just had to get myself together and wake him up and get him dressed. And I had called my niece when it first happened, we're only 6 years apart, so we're not a traditional aunt and niece. And she's like one of my best friends. And while I was waiting on one of my other best friends to get here, I had called her and let her know what was going on. And then after I spoke to the officer, I called her and told her, because she's like, I'm on my way. And I was like, it's no reason to come. He's gone. She said, I'm still coming. I have been surrounded by friends and family and phone calls and text messages and DMs, and I appreciate them all, and I thank you all for them. I want you to know I do. But I am a natural introvert, and I regenerate off of being alone. And so the lack of being alone, I'm realizing, has made it to where I didn't have to always deal with the full reality. Like, I'm not in denial. I know my son is gone. I've accepted that. But there's just a lot of thoughts and a lot of things that I haven't had to deal with because there's always someone around, or on the phone, or a text message, or a comment to answer, or something to do. And so as I've been getting out more this week, handling business and driving, in those moments, I'll feel those thoughts. And it's never at a good time. Not to say it's a good time, but it's always like people around, or I'm always somewhere, and I have to kind of shut it down. And I remember being younger, and I would relate it to, I used to be really into vampires, movies, books, everything. There's this thing when they say they turn off their humanity. And so after surviving the loss of all of my grandparents and my parents, I became an expert at just shutting off emotions and not allowing myself to feel. And I likened it to just turning off my humanity. And I worked very hard to get out of that space and place. Because as my relationship with Christ grew, I didn't want to be that person. I didn't want to be the person that did not allow themselves to feel, because I understand that suppressing feelings doesn't make them go away, and eventually you will explode and they will just come bubbling out into the surface. But through this process, because of the moments when the grief comes up and it's an inopportune time, I have noticed I am not allowing myself to feel so that I can heal. And I don't know how to do that. I don't know what that looks like, because on Monday I go back to work. I am back to routine. I am back to figuring out my new normal without my only child, and figuring out how to help support and raise his child with his mom. I'm feeling like, am I even qualified? Because I couldn't save my child. No matter how hard I tried, no matter how many resources I had, no matter how much money I made, no matter how much I served in church or how many Bible verses I read, I could not save him. No matter how hard I prayed, I could not save him. So how do I help raise that little boy when I couldn't save his dad? I don't know. I just know I have to trust God through the process. I know I have to really allow myself to heal, to feel, so that I can heal. I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't know what the next day or weeks are going to look like. I don't know. I know there are moments when I really am great. So if you reach out to me, you ask me how I'm doing, I say I'm great, I'm great. If I say I'm good, I'm good. If I say I'm okay, I'm okay. But sometimes in these moments, I'm not okay. And it's not that I'm not okay, like, no, I'm not going to hurt myself. No, I'm not going to give up. That I'm hurting and I'm not okay. And I'm learning that it is okay to not be okay. It's important to recognize when you need help and seek it. But as human beings, it's okay sometimes to just not be okay. And especially when you have gone through a loss. So that's where I'm at. All I've ever wanted to do my entire life was to be a mom and a wife. I haven't gotten to the wife part yet. but I've been a mom. For 25 years, I was a mom. And I love being a mom. Like, even just having Caleb this weekend is different because I'm not used to the toddler life, but I've loved every second of it. So what do you do when you're no longer a mom? What do you do when no one's going to call you mommy anymore? And that's where I'm at. 2 weeks to the day that my precious baby boy left this world. I'm trying to figure out, what do I do? And where do I go? So for those of you who have my phone number, when you call me or you text me and I don't answer, especially in the next week or two, know that I'm okay. Check with Autumn, with Shannon, or Claytonia. And if they call to me, know I'm okay. I can talk to them because they don't ask me how I'm doing, and I know you don't mean any harm by asking, but they're my best friends and I can just talk to them. But over this next week, 2 weeks, however long it takes, I can no longer turn off my humanity. I cannot continue to be strong for everyone around me. I know that my mental and emotional health depends on me allowing myself to feel the hurt of losing my child. Because that is the only way I can start to move forward and heal. So that's where I'm at. So I ask you all to give me understanding and to give me grace. Know that whatever I answer in that moment, it is true, but grief is definitely a moment by moment, second by second occurrence. And in 1 second I can be okay, and another second I can feel like my heart is being ripped out because I'm reliving that phone call. I am reliving that officer saying no ma'am when I asked if my baby was alive. I am reliving seeing that body bag come out of that apartment. So sometimes I'm okay. And sometimes I'm not. But one thing I know is that I can say for certain is that I am a survivor. I am not surviving. I am a survivor. Even though I have all these questions and all of this pain, this will not, trust me when I tell you, it will not destroy me. It will not destroy me. I don't know what my life will look like without Gavin, and I hate that I have to do it without him, but I will have a life without him here on earth. But I will continue to tell his story. I will continue to raise awareness for mental health and suicide ideation. I will continue to fight for his memory. And I will continue to heal. And I will continue to be the best grandmother I could ever be to that little boy asleep on my couch right now. And that's where I'm at. So, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I love you. Good night.